so y'all could keep going.
Yeah, no, that was
Hernandez was crazy, man. I hate to spill the drink on Hernandez.
We back.
it's on repeat, right?
Oh yeah, we had it on last night.
I like that.
What's up?
What?
What'd you say?
You know that meme where SpongeBob and Patrick are in this box?
Oh yeah.
And then Squidward.
Squidward's such a hater in that show, bro.
He really is, man.
The older you get, the more you understand it, though.
He was probably listening to this Roddy. He's a little antisocial.
Tad bit.
Yeah, now that I'm older, I realize Squidward probably had like severe depression.
We can get into that. I'll talk to you guys about that in a second, because I know why Squidward was like that. Still love. Hey, shout out to Dreamville. Shout out to Louis G. Shout out to Gio for doing the radio show. What was that, last week? Shout out to him. Shout out to Salim for doing it too.
Yeah.
I did not expect to start this pod with SpongeBob, but that's where we're going to take it.
All right, I have a theory.
The fellas episode.
Yeah, it finally is. It finally is. I'm going to intro this bitch eventually, but
So I have a theory.
about Squidward?
If she was doing this stuff in 2020, Squidward definitely would have shot up the Krusty Krab. Like, he seems like one of those guys that hates his job and then, he just takes it out on everybody else.
Would he take it on everybody else or just himself?
I feel like it'd be a
It might
murder
have been a
suicide.
somber. It might have been a somber moment.
It would have been a murder suicide.
I don't know how many cartoons would have carried something that heavy.
No, I'm not saying he would have done that in the show. I'm saying like,
Oh, just the type of person.
yeah.
Shit, I would hope not.
I definitely.
This is the first episode of 2020, but it is episode 16 of the OD podcast. Still fuck.
Sweet 16.
Hey, you know what? Somebody said, while I go ahead and cut this down a little bit, somebody said that every Reason verse on Revenge of the Dreamers got better and better.
I mean, he's on more of the deluxe package too.
For sure.
And I feel like the deluxe is really probably there's probably some hidden gems. Not even hidden gems, but it's some TD gems I'm sure on the deluxe package. Not TD, Dreamville gems.
For sure.
On the deluxe package.
You're gonna have to sit with it. Well, at least I feel like I'm gonna have to sit with it. Rory on the almost at the JBP. By the way, let's address
Rory
that real
who?
quick. Yo, real quick. Hold on. We gonna put. Yo, in all seriousness, first of all, shout out to the OD podcast. Welcome to the OD podcast. I am your host, Terrell Chatterbox Emerson Relly, Rel.
Yep.
I don't know what else I get called around here. Man, I'm gonna start going to my right. D Hoop, back in the city.
Just got here today.
Just got back. Just got back.
Happy New Year, ODP fam. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All
Happy
month
New
long.
Year. You know, all year long, all 12 months long.
Right?
To
I
his
don't really
right.
want to let go of 2020.
No, at this point we just got here, so let's definitely grab a hold to it first. And to Hoop's right, we got Salim. Salim
What's up,
Dweck
guys?
is in the building.
What's up, guys?
First time on the pod, but you did the radio show for the first
Last
time
week.
this past week, so I appreciate you for that.
That was fun, yeah.
Appreciate you, man. And as always, behind the camera, we got Miss Caprice. Man, first of all, I wanted to get to something real quick. I've let it be known a couple of times on this pod, actually every time on this pod. We are influenced by the JBP. Now, it pains me to say that because the dates are there. The dates are there, and y'all didn't. I'm not saying that you got it from us by any means. However, ODP Cast was our social, has been. The abbreviation for it has always been the ODP. Knock it off with that JBP shit.
OD is literally the name of this show.
Like I don't know where that came from.
It's the letters. It wasn't anything.
Yeah, this life picked us. Like it seems like Roy didn't like JBP at first. You should have just let it. You should have just let it die.
They
weren't
weren't
rocking with it. And Joe is just gonna force this shit out there, and it's like, Joe, relax. Like somebody else is actually using something close to that, so knock it off. But anyway, back to the pod, episode 16. We are here. I wanted to do a guys pod because I think 2 or maybe 3 times already I've had a couple of just all women podcasts where I'm just fending for myself and fending for all the guys. But like I said, I didn't anticipate to start anywhere here. To start with the Joe Budden podcast, to start with SpongeBob. But do you guys know? I think I've told you this before. But do you guys know that do you guys know what SpongeBob was originally pitched as?
No.
Maybe I heard this idea, but I'm not thinking of it. I'm not thinking it.
All right, so I feel like I said this on the pod too. But anyway, it was originally pitched as an HBO show. So it was originally an adult show.
Holy shit.
Cartoon? Or
it was an adult cartoon.
Yeah.
So once the person started to break it down to me in high school, I was like, dog, that shit is right under our nose. What's the city that they stay in?
Bikini Bottom.
What's Sandy's last name?
Cheeks.
Yeah, that show is mad perverted.
Mr. Krabs.
And
Why
by the
is
way,
Pearl always crying?
And by the way, I just want to talk
She's
about.
just secure.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Pearl's on her rag.
Oh.
Why is Squidward blue? Why is Squidward never happy? Why is Squidward's nose always swollen? Squidward has blue balls.
You know, I also want to talk about something.
Bro, I'm telling you, when the shit broke down to me, I was like, yo, what the and then they said HBO didn't want it. They cleaned it up a little bit, and they took it.
Well, if it were HBO, maybe my Squidward theory about shooting up the Krusty Krab.
It probably would have happened.
Something like that.
Something like that actually would have happened on the HBO show.
Squidward would have had the strap.
Absolutely.
Squidward would have had the strap and ready to do something with it.
You know, I
Oh, no, he would have done something with it.
SpongeBob would have gotten saved. I'm just kidding. No, he definitely would have been the first one to get.
Oh, he
down.
would have been.
I don't want to know what HBO SpongeBob SquarePants, like who he would have been. I don't want to know because he's the source of so much joy that I just can't imagine if you put any kind of mature spin on who he is. Like, nah. Like,
No.
he got the girls chasing. Like, nah. Come on, SpongeBob. You can't be doing that.
SpongeBob not.
I can't let SpongeBob do that.
Hey, you know, I can't get over this. LSU has turned every hype video into a failure unless you use this song. Every single one.
Yeah.
Did they arrest?
Like that? Go ahead.
Sorry, did they arrest Odell yet?
They're not going to.
Okay, thank God, man.
That was a bunch of bullshit.
That was foolishness.
That was a bunch of bullshit.
I saw they had like an arrest warrant. I was like, is this?
They did it for the headline, which is what everybody gave them. Right. I don't understand that.
That was just for traffic.
Oh,
Just-
for
just
sure.
for traffic, just for clicks.
They got it for whatever little small time they got it for, but I mean, I guess whatever they wanted
The
out of it,
NCAA
they
called
got
and
it.
said, "Hey, y'all find a reason to arrest this man because we can't do it because they're already gone and we see this. Somebody get him for us."
But it's not gonna. It doesn't even matter. It truthfully doesn't fucking
No.
matter. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys actually came in here with stuff that you guys wanted to discuss, but I had a couple of things. Mainly, I just want to touch base. I mean, we've like I said, we haven't done a pod all year long, but finally getting back into it. Finally getting back into the swing of things. We started with Roddy. Y'all want to talk about Roddy real quick? Talk about Roddy having a number one album
Congratulations
in the
to that
country
man.
again.
Shout out to that man, Compton, California.
Can we stop Selena and Justin from making these sad videos?
Before I even give them attention, because I played not a track of theirs.
Why?
So
Let me ask a question. Would you have done it before they opened their mouths anyway?
I would have got around to the Justin.
I don't
To
know.
Yummy? Or the full album?
I would have checked Justin.
He was looking
out.
for the
I
single,
would
I
have
think.
checked it out, but I wasn't excited for it whatsoever to begin with. So that was the case. But I probably would have waited to hear it and been like,
And be like,
all right, unless
like-
it was heat, like unless it was some random heat. But it wasn't tough.
I like that little run he had in 2015 with Sorry, and then what was the two other?
Nah. Purpose was crazy.
Yeah, 2015.
Was that Journals was the album? Journals was the album.
That wasn't me.
Journals, you didn't
me.
like Journals.
I didn't
Is
listen
that the
to
one with
Journals.
Chance the Rapper?
Time out.
Journals wasn't for me.
You didn't listen to Journals, but you
I
rushed.
know
to,
some of it. I mean, of course we know what was on that, but like,
So okay, so can we address how classic of an album that is, even if it wasn't for you to address the fact that you know multiple songs from it, and you got me fucking defending Justin Bieber right now. Out of all days, you got me defending JB. You got me doing it now,
and I said I wanted to give them no energy,
and we are giving them all types of energy right now.
because that's why I would have checked out his new track, because I really messed with the 2015 like Bieber.
That entire
Okay, so when was Journals? Because
That was
you guys about to
before
piss
that.
me
That
off.
was before that.
2014, I believe.
That was before that.
I know 2015, it was crazy. I was delivering food at Domino's, and literally every other song I heard on the radio was Bieber.
Yeah, it was 2013. Journals is hard, bro. Are you kidding me?
Hey, no, he did his
Wait
thing
a
with it. He
minute,
did
bro.
his thing with it. I would actually say it's probably a better album than Purpose, but I got into Purpose a little more. It was a little edgier.
Yeah, and this is it doesn't matter.
That's that.
Yeah,
I
it
think
doesn't
that's
matter.
that. That's
it
that
doesn't
on
matter.
Chrome
We're not talking about that no more.
Roddy Ricch.
Back to Roddy.
That's an impressive. Are we calling this debut album?
Yeah.
Is he calling this a debut album?
I don't know what he's calling it, but I'm pretty sure he's probably calling it his debut album. I don't know for sure because I haven't heard any interviews or anything. I haven't gotten around to it, but I know for a fact that Feed the Streets, when that came out, it was a pretty big buzz for
project.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
full
pretty big
project for
buzz
sure.
for that. So
Whether or not
I would
that was
assume that it's his coming out party to the world, probably.
This was different. This was different. Features.
I would say probably in the way that they packaged it, sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, to him, I'm sure it was just probably like,
This is my next project.
This is it. This is the one where I guess everybody's supposed to pay attention to. But I don't know, man. I just I have the weirdest feeling about the need for a quick turnover whenever there's somebody winning. That doesn't look
success.
like the youth. Yeah, that doesn't look like the typical one. And we
so
can relate
strange.
this back to Lamar Jackson playing the quarterback position. We can relate this back to Roddy Ricch dominating to begin the decade. And I think that's probably what's bothering people so much. It's the beginning of the decade. I truthfully think if this is 2021, nobody would give a fuck. I think if it was 2019, nobody would give a fuck. The fact that it's starting the decade and Selena Gomez or Justin Bieber can't dominate the
They know
decade
that
to
this
start it.
will be referenced.
It absolutely
in
will be
history.
referenced because Roddy is going to be mentioned as the biggest artist. To
Like, back
start
in 2020,
the
like that
decade.
was Roddy Ricch. Like, yeah, fact.
and it's going to piss a lot of people off. That's what I truthfully think it is. I think if it happened next year, nobody would have cared. If it happened last year, nobody would have cared. So me personally, I'm a tad bit irritated with it.
But there was none of that when Lil Nas was on the chart for
From who?
for 3-4 months though. There was initially, and then it was to the point where we were like, "Yo, y'all still rocking with this song? Like this is going
Let me ask you a
nowhere."
question. You got me defending some people that I do not want to defend.
I'm glad though, because for a minute people weren't defending Lil Nas.
No, it's not that. It's that. I'm not saying that I don't want to defend Nas,
Yeah.
but maybe that's a conversation for another day. However, how many country music awards did Nas get nominated for?
0, I believe.
Yeah, that answer was 0.
Yeah.
What do you mean that there wasn't a backlash behind him? The only difference is they're actively attempting to try to get Roddy down or try to pull Roddy down when he's sitting at peak position. And I think that's mainly what it is. They're just looking at it like,
No, I agree.
okay, let's just get him out the slot. It's not too much you can do because the album's out. The album's fire. So you just kind of got to sit there and eat it and be like, shit, I hope somebody listens to mine.
Video where he's crying. He's like, "Yo, that's good music, man."
What are you going to do in a situation like that?
Yeah, no, this is good music.
Shout out to Roddy Ricch. We just wanted to go ahead and start that out. But more, like I said, there's been so much music that's dropped. And
I've listened to none of it in 2020.
I haven't listened to too much of it, but what
Except
I will
Moneybagg.
say- I haven't listened to the full Moneybagg, but
I've been listening to the impressions.
Moneybagg is Moneybagg. Talk to me. You gonna have to educate me.
The impressions?
Talk to me.
Oh man, classic soul music. You know, Marilyn McCoo, The Impressions. Just a lot of old stuff because I drive a lot at night.
I was gonna say, is that a new release?
No, this is all old stuff, like old soul music. It's very like,
That's a vibe.
yeah, like as I drive
Okay,
at night,
okay.
I see like the mountains out in the distance. It's very relaxing.
I know my uncle probably gonna watch this and be like, "You don't know the impressions? All right, relax." It's like relax, uncle, relax.
I was riding with my mom. I had to throw on the Anderson .Paak. That's
Oh, okay.
that's mom friendly.
I thought you were about to say something ridiculous, bro. And I was really sitting here like, don't say nothing crazy. A lot of music came out, but I mean, right before the end of 2019, a couple of albums turned, or just had anniversaries that I wanted to touch on and just talk about if you guys wanted to. And I kind of just wanted to talk about two in particular. I'll start with this one actually. Now that I think about it, I'm wearing it. But let's talk about 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
You know,
5-year anniversary.
5 years. 5.
I like the album. The only song I didn't like was Wet Dreams.
Why?
Just because I don't know, man. It played on the radio.
They
all-
played it.
It's the
they played it a long time.
Right.
And
Power
a lot.
Trip was the same way.
A lot.
and it was just very uncomfortable to hear this man describe.
His high school.
Wet
His high
dreams.
school get downs.
to describe his wet dreams.
You know, very good artist, but I just, you know.
So that's my favorite J. Cole album, for sure. But
Is
probably
that his
because it's
collective classic. Is that his collective classic? Can
it's tough to
everybody
shoot that.
say
How do you
that's
shoot
his
that
classic?
album down? Like what holes do you shoot at that one?
I don't shoot one. I don't shoot not
And
one.
I know. I'm
I
sure
don't
you
shoot
don't.
one at. I don't shoot. Fuck you. I don't shoot one at Sideline Story either. I don't. Honestly, you might be right, and it's like I'm trying my best at the stand right now. But 2014 Forest Hills Drive, Sideline Story, and Born Center. I'm not moving anything.
I feel like KOD is up there with Born Center as well.
KOD. What I will say is, you know how much I love that album, and I think that's gonna like you said, land in that top 3. And when it's all said and done,
Arguable top 3.
I'm
like,
really,
don't
really
forget this one.
like hesitant to do that only because the amount of time I've had with all the rest of them.
Nah, certainly.
Like it's to the point to where I go back to Born Center right now, and I remember where I was the morning that it came out. Like, you know what I mean? So, that's the same way with all of them. So
You know,
it just got to stay with me.
not being a hipster here, but the warm up was incredible.
No, please bring that up. Like,
The warm-up
I mean,
was being a hipster
absolutely
at
not
all.
being a hipster at all.
Because a lot of people haven't heard it.
It's Forest Hill Drive. I love that album. The other J. Cole albums, like I like songs off of there,
Mhm.
but as far as the entire project, I can't really get through it. But the warm up was incredible.
You didn't care for Friday Night Lights then, the way that was packaged? It was long. It was long as shit. But
Yeah, it had some songs I liked.
if I recall, that was 21 songs.
Yes,
And that's right off.
It's-
That's right off the top of my dome.
it's hard to make.
That was one of my introductions
It's
to
hard
Cole.
to make a 21 song album with.
So like I grew as a fan, and I feel like that for me, Forest Hills Drive was actually my senior year of high school. It dropped in the middle of basketball season as well, so that was just a lot of headphones on with 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
How many songs did it have? 20 songs.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
2014. That's crazy.
Cole is
no,
It's
not 20
different.
songs on 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
No, that was Friday
sorry,
Night Lights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was
gonna
talking about the
say-
way it was
No,
packaged.
no.
The Carter 2 also turned 14.
That's my favorite. I'm so glad you brought that up. Like,
The
I-
Carter 2.
10
Like-
years prior to that's
I'll have like Arabic music in my playlist, and then all of a sudden there'll be like hustler
Get 'em.
music coming up.
I was like, you
or-
hear a lighter flick, you hear
or the
Wayne.
receipt. But
I mean, you know what? Now, I've always been this person to where I do feel like the Carter 2 was, and some people feel the exact opposite, and that's perfectly fine. And I even went back and sat with it, and I'm about to have some fucking fiery hot takes right now. And the way that people are like so big on certain albums, it's not that I'm down on them, but it's just I don't think they rank in that person's discography where I feel like everybody else feels like they rank. And the reason why I say that is because I think of an album like Reasonable Doubt, and it's almost like blasphemous, I feel like, to say anything about Reasonable Doubt, but there are people who
people
remember
don't objectively
the-
rank his projects.
I don't feel like they do, but I feel like certain people, you kind of, with all due respect, if you're around long enough, you gain that little bit of leeway to where you have a person who will deem Reasonable Doubt as their favorite album simply because, like you said, it could be senior year of high school. or it could be senior year of college, freshman year of college, whatever the case may be. They
Your
could have got
introduction to
married
them
that
or
year.
something.
They could have jumped off the porch that year. Whatever the case may be, that may be in their reasonable. That may be Jay's best album. For me personally, I had to go back to Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
nah, that's not.
Definitely did.
That's not.
Not
his
hearing it,
first
not
one
hearing
for
it
me.
in the live context
Matters a
allows
lot.
you to separate it from public opinion.
So I think the Carter 2, looking back, I think the Carter 2 was when Wayne let everybody know, like, yo, I'm here, like I'm serious. But I feel like the Carter 3 hit harder. And maybe because it had more radio records or whatever the case may be, maybe because it had a little bit more backing, a little bit more push. I don't know, but I remember the Carter 3
I mean,
in a different light.
2008 Lil Wayne, I mean, probably the biggest artist in the world. Like
For sure.
2005 Lil Wayne, yeah, definitely.
Unstoppable.
Definitely still big, but not like he wasn't.
But yeah, definitely
No,
what you're saying
it wasn't
though.
just that year. Like, it was a span
No,
where he was just untouchable.
From like 06 to 2010, I would say, maybe.
I mean, well, shit, what are we saying? Because when he
I'm
technically
talking popularity, because he's been making great
But this
music.
is my point. I'm giving Wayne a crazy amount of credit because even when he went away, we heard nothing but Drake, nothing but Tyga, nothing but Nicki. That's still Wayne influence. I'm still getting Wayne at that point. So Wayne's run, I probably would say Wayne's run went until I graduated high school, which was 2012.
I would say it goes until I give the Carter 4 credit. I was anticipating it a lot.
Okay.
I
The anticipation
stayed
was
with
crazy.
it a lot. Wasn't too critical of it, but at the time, I don't think I was too critical of a lot of what I liked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But to what you were saying earlier, I think the Carter 3 doesn't like that hit, that punch isn't there if the Carter 2 wasn't as solid
For sure.
through and through that it was.
For
Like
sure.
I got a hot take.
What's up?
Car-
Oh, shit.
Carter 1 was the best Wayne album.
You know what? And I was just about to get into it. The best.
this is
Let's do it. Because now I'm ready to get into some shit. If we going to do it, because if we're what's out of the 5 Carters, you can say all albums, but I just want to say all the Carters.
the 5. That's what's up, man.
Give
I'm
me
glad
the
we can
5,
say that.
man.
I'm glad we can say that.
Give me the 5.
ranking?
Yeah. No. Oh hell no. I'm not ranking them.
No.
I'm not ranking them.
Which is
I'm
your
not-
favorite?
I
Yeah,
give
we
my
can't
favorite.
rank them either, man.
I could rank them. Let's not
We
do
can't.
that because now I
definitely
could.
No, let's.
I was about to say I'll pull out a damn whiteboard and find a way to rank them. Like
My favorite Wayne album is Carter 1.
it's Carter 1 clearly. I'm a go. I'm gonna go 3.
3. It's 3.
I was
Mr.
leaning
Carter,
between 3 and
Mr.
4.
like-
that's one of the hardest songs ever written, bro.
Tell me where.
We gonna have to. You know what?
Amelia's
Real
one of the
quick.
toughest videos. Getting off the video to your song that you just murdered with a hook that like you just took time to breathe on.
Amelie still gets used.
Getting
today.
ready to shoot the video for the actual single.
And then light skinned Lil Wayne takes portions from Wayne's videos. Of course, that had to be one of the ones because it's a
Facts.
classic one.
Facts.
But real quick, this is something that we can get into later eventually because we've been talking about wanting to. I guess I'm happy that we waited to make our list. Like eventually our list of artists and whatever else.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about just greatest songs ever composed. And the list is probably going to be ridiculous.
That's too
But
hard.
I think, it's not necessarily ranking them. It's just songs that you would throw in that list.
Oh,
like,
okay,
for
okay,
instance,
okay.
I think.
This is in the playlist.
Yeah, and I
the
think
playlist. This is in the
people are,
playlist.
and I mean like from start to finish, the song is fucking impeccable. I think Future Incredible is a song that's from start to finish.
Yeah, you said that one like Mr. Mass is like
It's like that
was a pop
that's an
hit.
incredible,
That was a hit.
No pun. That's an incredible song. Like it's crazy as fuck. The Internet Special Affair
yo
from start to finish is just
Ego, don't talk
it's
about
a
Ego
crazy
Death,
song.
man.
Daft Punk One More
Sheesh.
Time. That's personally a song I could listen
So
Sheesh.
that's what I'm saying. So certain
Yeah.
songs that are just don't touch it. Don't do anything
There's
to
a
it. Don't
couple.
add anything. Don't take anything
There's a
away. It's
couple
just
of
beautiful.
random access memories that are untouchable.
to. Daft Punk One More Time.
I'm telling y'all. That's what we should truthfully make one of those where we just make a list of just songs that don't touch. Don't do anything with them. Don't make a remix. Don't do anything. Don't touch it. Like just leave it the way it is.
Yo,
Leave it the way we remember it.
yeah, man, that's tough. That's a fun conversation, man. 'cause
And you know what? We finally transitioned.
it's
into
tough
some
to
shit
like
I'm proud of us.
disagree. That's like nobody's gonna be like, yeah, I mean, Viva La Vida's cold, but I mean, I don't really like the no. That's a classic.
Yeah, like I'm
Don't
not
say
gonna,
that.
it's just certain things I just feel like you can't.
I don't care if you
Ocean
don't-
Views.
Yeah.
Don't touch. Never touch it. Never touch it. Tupac Changes. Don't touch it.
Man, you
God-
know what, man?
Only God Can Judge Me by Tupac.
Don't touch it.
That's a beautiful song.
Just certain things are dear mama. Just don't touch. Honestly, I'm getting real close to just being like Pac's catalog. Don't touch it. Like, in all seriousness.
You can't touch any Grace hits. You can't.
I just feel like certain songs are just like, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough because we talk about artists, we talk about classic albums.
Best I ever had.
Credit some best I ever had may go down, and I think because what are we at now? We're at least at
incredible song.
11 years, 12 years. So, I mean, I guess again, like I said with KOD,
Yeah.
maybe I would need a little bit more, which is awkward as fuck because I put incredible in there.
Yeah.
So it's super funny because the best I ever had, I related to Drake. So you may be relating it to, correct me if I'm wrong, Situation when it came out. I remember where I was. I remember what grade I was. I remember what
Facts.
girl I was talking to. Everything.
There's
But-
Drake actually, going back to what we were saying about
Mhm.
like the time in your life when
Mhm.
music was put
Yeah,
out.
I remember the phone I had.
Yeah, right.
When Nothing Was the Same came out,
Mm-hmm.
he got interviewed by somebody, and the guy was like, "Well, what do you feel about people saying they want the old Drake?" And he's like, "Look, I can't take you back to 10th grade when
Exactly.
So Far Gone came out. I can't give you that feeling back, but you could be on this journey with me through my music now."
Which is what I would hope that people would credit him for. That's what he's
Yeah.
done. I don't necessarily feel like best I ever had is one, but I compare it to who it came from, or I look at who it came from. So for instance, I look at Future's catalog.
Mhm.
I will always point to Incredible.
Yeah, don't touch March Madness either.
Don't touch March Madness. So it's certain things that when I look at Drake, like even when it comes to best I ever had, if I look at Drake's catalog, I'm naming 40 different songs before I name that. As
Yeah.
far as like songs to just like don't touch, like that was different. That
I
was
have-
classic. Don't touch it.
I have,
Like best I
it's
ever had.
plenty.
I'm not gonna lie. I
It's
had
plenty.
some things that I probably was like, did you have to say that? Did you have to? You know what I mean? Did you
Looking
have to
back,
use
it,
that
kind
cadence,
of
have to
set
use
a
that
bar.
flow.
It kind of initiated a wave.
Oh, it changed every. But see, at
Ushered
the
in a
same
lot.
time, too,
Ushered in a lot.
at
It was
the same-
it was his introduction,
Ooh.
and it was one of the perfect introductions to him.
Oh no, it was the introduction for sure. You know what I would say is Drake one of Drake's untouchable songs, and it's funny because it's not his song.
I'm Still Fly.
No, no, I
That's a
was say it
good-
wasn't though. It's a good song, but no, I just
Real Toronto Drake
I
was
wasn't
solid.
I wasn't going there though.
305 to My City.
But I was going to comeback season, and I was going, and like I said, it's not his song, but I was going to Closer to My Dreams. That's one that I might fuck around and play that shit at my wedding. Like that song
Don't touch
is.
the ride.
Why is everybody? Okay, I don't want to be that guy.
I remember 305 to My City just because.
What'd you say, Caprice?
I said the ride is okay. Like it's a good song, but it's not like when I wouldn't put it up there with.
Why is everybody like? Yo, B Dot said the same thing. B Dot said that he feels like The Ride is the best song Drake has ever made, and he asked, "Was that
I'm
fair?"
not ready to defend it on that level, but among
He backed down fast.
it's tough because there's some that you like 0 to 100.
Dude,
See-
like it.
Over My Dead Body, classic. Don't touch it.
All the memories, like that's why 305 to My City might be my favorite Drake song. I know that sounds like I've told people. that.
Tuscan Leather, don't touch it.
You can't really touch that.
Legend, don't touch it.
If you go to UNLV, you better
Star
not
6-7, don't touch it.
First time I ever heard 305 to My City, I was off an edible at 4 a.m. October 2013, I think it was.
That's the worst time to listen to Drake.
Either way, I just got back.
High off an edible, early morning,
It
like,
was like 4 a.m. I was 16 years old. I was working at like this little pizza place. It was 4 a.m. I was so euphoric, and then I played that. And I'm on the couch off an edible. It was just a beautiful time in my life.
that's the.
Whenever I'm depressed, I go back to that point, like late 2013. That was the best point in my life, I think.
Late 2013.
Mm-hmm. Late 2013.
Are we talking about best point in our lives based on music?
Not necessarily music, but like just, it was one of the best periods in my life. Like I would say, like June 2013 to December 2013 was like one of the best.
Oh, you're
parts.
looking at something.
Yeah.
You're looking at a certain gap. See, now it's funny.
Don't touch
talking about
cameras. Don't touch cameras.
Oh,
Cameras
great,
for
yeah.
sure. See, that's what I'm saying. So
It's a-
there's
this
a
is the
lot of songs
conversation.
that I'm looking at in Drake's catalog that I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at best I ever had. If he did it, I'm not that he would ever do it because of what it means, but if he was to do a newer version of it, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
Even if it was bad, I wouldn't be upset.
like, I'll take that.
It's
like
like the
whatever.
perfect like song to
Work
like,
is a really good song.
Talking about Rihanna's work,
Hmm
honestly, Rihanna's.
Which I didn't know
say
Party
it
wrote.
wrong, but Auntie, Is it anti or is it anti?
I like say anti.
I say anti and everybody looking at me like I'm crazy.
Auntie?
Whatever that
Anti.
album is with the fucking crown on it, that entire album, don't touch it.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it
Leave that
alone.
whole joint alone.
I need to hear it all. I need to feel all of that.
all of
I
it
need-
from start to finish.
if I'm
I don't
playing
need to
it,
skip a song.
Then I
Like-
just gotta have a moment.
Janae's first 2 albums, don't touch them.
Yeah, I like Janae's
Don't
introduction a
touch
lot.
them.
And I didn't realize until recently like how much if I were a woman and I can appreciate her as a man
Right.
as it's like the kind of woman that she is.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, that's a role. Like, that's a nice woman to like look at and like model yourself after and like pick things from. Like, I like how she pays attention to herself and she takes care of her mental and like things like that.
Protects her energy. And one thing that I'm happy that we kind of had this conversation because we're talking about moments and things that we go back to and things that we go back and reference. I'm so happy that this conversation started simply because a song came out recently and the song is fire. And you hear the sample right away. And when you hear the sample, you're like, oh, I know what song this is. It made me go, because the first thing I said was, I know you know what I'm talking about. The first thing I said was, I love this song growing up. Like, this was it. And then I cut it on as a 25-year-old black man today and got sick to my fucking stomach. And this is what I'm talking about. So first of all, this is the song. So shout out to Mozzie. Big homie from the hood. So you can hear it already. You guys know what this samples, right?
Yeah,
So let me know.
Yeah.
So this samples Mario Let Me Love You.
yeah.
Oh,
Don't touch that.
So no, touch it now. Let me explain why. No, let me explain why. Cause some shit I just, man, some shit you can't stand for. Yo,
Wow, this is bringing.
Hey, shout out to him for doing that though.
no.
What happened to Mario?
Fire. Yeah, fire.
What happened to Mario?
That was in good taste.
Mario
That
still making
was in
music,
good
really,
taste.
I'm thinking.
I haven't heard his name mentioned in so long.
I think he's still making music. Mario had one? Oh wait, this was it. Wait, so okay, so listen to this. So I'm happy that you started this because did we this what year was this? 2004.
05, yeah, man.
Did we let Mario get this off? Listen to this.
This is like Joe, like you know what I'm talking about, Joe, right? The R&B dude.
Yo, wait, whoa. Did we and to take a word from Joe Budden, did we let Mario croon and get away with dirty macking?
Well, he was a
The first thing out his mouth is, "Baby, I just don't get it.
He was a
Do
Charles.
you enjoy being hurt?
He was a Charles.
I know you smelled the perfume, the makeup on it. How you know what she know?
I mean,
The West was a mistake, man.
he said what he had to say.
Bro, but no,
to
bro.
who,
Wait,
to,
wait, time out.
to whoever
Wait,
had to
wait,
hear it. To
Wait a
who had
minute,
to
wait
hear
a
it.
minute, wait a minute. I have always
Yeah, he was saying to all the ladies that was getting done wrong.
And I gotta give him credit because by him making that, he
Did you see the
allowed
video?
he allowed
Stop defending this
he
shit.
allowed fellas across the country to use that in pursuit of wherever they're trying to get at. Like,
Which
yo,
is my
first
point.
of all, you need to let me show you a good time.
Which is why it is more of
You
a
deserve
disgusting
better.
act.
You just
Which is why it is more of a disgusting act
he
than
gave
you
it
are
to he
realizing.
gave that to us.
Oh.
Which is why it is so much of a disgusting act because we blindly led with the shit.
Michelle. Michelle, you're eating oatmeal for lunch? What? Oh, okay. Your man didn't get you. Okay, well that's fine. Everybody's relationship is different.
Right.
You know, for me with my ex, you know, I'd get her whatever
that's
she
the
wants.
most subtle shit in the world. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in my
Okay,
relationship, we would never do
listen,
that. But,
listen. You can do whatever the hell you want, but
what the fuck is going on, bro?
your man makes you eat oatmeal. For
No.
lunch.
He said what he said.
No, in all seriousness, bro. Okay, I'm gonna try to relate it to a story on Twitter. Did y'all see that thing go viral on Twitter where the dude that is like a skinnier, darker skinned guy, but everybody was comparing him to Welvin, and he had
Well, I remember.
he had like the super bomb girl, and it was
Oh, wow.
So you
They
seen
were
that?
doing that to him?
so yeah, bro. So,
Wait. Are we talking? They went as far as
he had like a little
Welvin.
he had a little gap and he had like a little like box head. Like that was it. They didn't have to,
Bro, he was just
they
skinny and
didn't
dark
have to
skinned.
drag him like that.
He was just skinny and dark skinned, and they compared my nigga to Welvin. So
You can't
That
go
just lets you
on
know-
Twitter without, like, half the
Was he the?
I remember though. I remember.
Was
And
it
they were
These
like,
Nuts
dudes
guy?
was acting
Yeah,
like,
that's Welvin.
like, wow, girls is falling for everybody. Like, fam, you're
Yo,
unhappy.
the worst. Bro.
You're unhappy.
We have to address grown men being worried about where other grown men are putting their penis.
Fam, for
We
real.
have got to stop that.
There's so many people out here. There's so many single people out here.
So haram. But
No, I'm not off this shit yet. I'm not. Only reason why is because I'm mad because Daryl tried to defend this shit for a minute. My only thing was with this song.
We might breaking news real quick. It's the fellas episode.
What just happened?
Conor McGregor won in 40 seconds.
holy
Told you it wasn't gonna
shit!
be a long fight.
Holy shit!
Man, and there was 5 parties tonight.
40?
High kick.
I like Connor.
Conor
Like Conor and
bike.
Cowboy.
Conor will be fighting again by like March.
But they're talking about Jorge in March, and I don't think he's
Okay.
finishing Jorge.
Okay. Well, no. They could wait for that. I'll wait for that.
Yeah. I'm
I'll wait
waiting
for
for
that.
whatever it is.
He's jumping back in there though. He's like, yeah.
I used to really like Mazdaval until I found out he's MAGA.
Is he?
Yeah, he's MAGA.
Yeah, he's interesting. He grew his hair out and got a lot of affection, but like people didn't really know what he was about. And I still don't really know what he's about. I don't really care.
Well, he didn't really.
That's why I'm interested.
He didn't really talk about it too much, but he was like, "Yeah, Trump's a bad motherfucker," and this, that. Like,
Oh no, wait. I think I did see that interview. I think you gotta hold on. Maybe let me go back and watch the interview because I think I know which clip you're talking about, but it might have only been a clip. But when I brought up this Mario thing, and the reason why I compared it to that is because at some point, this is the way that I've always felt, and this is the way I've always felt since high school.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know how girls used to always ask like the question, or just I shouldn't even say girls, but people in high school always ask the question, or people just pose the question, what do you do if somebody quote unquote takes your girl?
she was never yours in the first place.
That's most guys' typical reaction. But the way that I've always felt was it has to be one rule to it, I feel like.
What's
You
the
can't
rule?
use my name to get it.
What you mean? Wait. Oh, what you mean?
You
Like,
have
she
to
can't-
get her to like you. Don't use my name. Don't sully my name.
Yeah, facts.
That's just
Yeah,
that's
if you-
just
if-
not man code.
Yeah, so I
Get
man,
her
this
to
is crazy.
like you.
So I got
Even if you tricking, do that.
yeah,
Don't bring my name up.
not for real. I got to convene with some of the bros, man, and somebody was like, man, I feel like I gotta go like get my girl back, and I'm like, all right, hold on.
You have to talk somebody off a leg.
I'm like, if you already got a plan, why not throw it out there? But if you think a girl's moving on, bro, she's probably moved on.
You gotta let people.
Especially
move
if
on.
you got Mario
and
singing
you
to
have
her
to
and
let
shit.
her. Like, if you have to try, it's because she's being nice to you, and it's not gonna keep it 1,000 with what's going on with her, how she really feels, or what she might feel for somebody else, or the kind of energy somebody else is showing her. Give it a shot, because if it's legit, like, you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? Somebody could just be chilling, but let it go. Mario was also on the song with Gucci.
Yeah, I mean,
Girls is like buses, and I'm not that dismissive towards women.
you just said it.
I'm not. No, I
Okay.
said the line. I said the line.
All right, bet. Okay.
This one.
This
next
is what
15.
happens when Daryl misses a couple of pods. I don't know what he comes
I
back
just had
and
to
who this
keep it
person
real.
is.
I
I
just
don't
had
know
to
who
keep
this
it
person
real.
is.
Because man, you can't. You know, women think about everything before they even do it. So it's like, if you feel like,
You know,
women think a lot. They think a lot. If you have to change her mind about something, it's an uphill battle.
Oh, you're never gonna do
It's an
that.
uphill battle.
Like, good luck with that. What'd you say, Celine?
just a quick observation. Like living in Florida,
Mhm.
South Florida specifically,
Yeah.
for 19 and a half years, and then being out here 2.5 years, I could say this: in Vegas, I think it's crazy the amount of people that are in relationships. Like in South Florida, people, at least from what I've seen, everybody on this campus, at least to me, oh yeah, my girlfriend, oh yeah, my boyfriend. Like,
There's a lot of low-key relationships on this campus, but there's not a lot of. I don't think this is a relationship campus.
Maybe not campus, but city in general. I don't know, man. At
I
least
see
compared
what
to,
you're saying. The city though.
at least
A lot of
compared to
tourist
South
cities
Florida.
too though.
Let me
Yeah.
explain something really quick.
Yeah, please.
This and I don't think I'm pretty sure I might have been here. Nah, we might have moved the same time. This is a lustful city.
Yeah,
It's not. It's a lot of
whatchamacallit
sure.
city.
Yeah, it's a
From what I've seen, this is a lot of post-
like a pre-save us right about now. Oh no, you got one?
Didn't you tell me that it costs to get tested here, but condoms are free at the school?
At the school? Oh yeah, for sure. No, it costs to get tested. It costs to print, and then y'all handing out condoms.
Cost the print, but
I still don't. And you handing out.
I gotta put on my tinfoil hat for a second.
Handing out whack ones too. Like they're handing out the ones that I feel like we got in 5th grade during like the sex ed class, like the ones that we took home to our like and tried on a banana type shit.
Yeah.
Why are y'all giving those to grown people?
especially with this being Vegas, like you said, it's a lustful city. You think they would be urging like the kids to, the young adults
To get tested, to just do things of that nature.
just do things.
I think Nevada ranks #1 in syphilis.
The more
California's
you know.
#2, which is trash.
The more you know.
But I think Georgia's 3, Louisiana's 4. After that, I don't know.
But you said lustful, and I hear that, but I've noticed so many of the like people I follow, they'll post relationship pics, and then a couple months later they're all gone on Instagram.
Lustful.
Okay. But
Yeah.
their
It
relationships.
was good for the
though.
moment.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And you know,
I mean, to put in comparison, where I transferred from Baylor, I know at least
Texas.
I know at least 10. They had a thing was part of the campus culture, like school culture of ring by spring. Like if you've been dating
That's Texas. Yeah.
your senior year,
Bro.
y'all are engaged. Like
We're-
I
no,
know
we're
I
not.
know at least 10 people who are married had the wedding.
I believe you.
Like
I believe you.
graduated less than
It's
2
nothing
years.
It's nothing against it. Like, go ahead and go
I'm like,
for
that's
it. But
that's couple city.
it's more like what Salim said. Like, it's more that people are, and I'm really starting to notice it. People are more so extremely happy and eager to be next to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's for the look,
It is.
or I don't know if it's to not be lonely, or I don't know if it's for
People are saying
social.
relationships are in right now. They're saying it's in.
You ever scroll
What does that mean?
And then when they go back out, are you gonna look at your significant other and be like, "Yo, bounce"?
Yeah, you were just here
It's just
for the
it's
gram.
corny. It shit
You
is
were
weird.
just here for an Instagram picture.
That's what I'm saying.
You
So
can
I
go
think
home now.
people are either doing it for the holidays, they're either doing it for social, they're either doing it for the time being, either they're doing it because they truthfully want to fuck and they just don't know how to, either side don't know how to say it, whatever the case may be. So I think so many people are so eager to be in relationships when, I mean, I guess it sounds cliche as shit, but clearly when you're single, they say you're supposed to work on yourself to the point to where you have more to contribute. Just from thinking on that surface way of thinking, why would you want to rush whatever product you are, knowing it's not the final product,
Whatever you think you're trying to get.
knowing that the longer that you wait, the more that you'll be able to bring? I've just never understood that. That's just been me personally, and I think I even posed the question to Salim on Sunday when we had the pod. I asked him, "You ever been in a situation to where once it played out, you kind of looked around and was like,
That was bad.
shit would have been easier if I just lied"?
I could tell you, I've been in situations where I was.
If it never started,
You don't really know how bad it is until you look back. It's
I
kind of like
could have nipped that in the bud.
I'm mad you laughed, cause you're just truthfully not shit. Like you're
That's not the case.
You're just truthfully not shit. Cause I asked the general
It would have
question
been
and
better if I
you
lied. I
gave
tell
me
the
a
truth.
look. Okay, take it.
Are we getting vulnerable? No. I'm just,
You guys ever been in a car accident?
What the fuck just happened?
Hold
yes,
on, hold on.
I'm
I'll
gonna let you
explain.
continue this.
I'll explain. Hold on.
Take this away.
Yes, bro, I have.
Because
So
I wasn't shit
take-
10 seconds
yeah,
ago.
take-
Take it away.
Take the ball.
So certain relationships are like car accidents. Like with all the adrenaline, you're going
Were you
through
a car
it.
accident?
You don't. You don't really. When you're in the relationship, you don't really get it. You know what I mean? Like you don't get the extent of it. And then when you're out, you're like, oh shit, that was fucking
That shit was
horrific.
bad.
That was horrific.
That shit, and it could have been. It almost got real bad. Like,
Because I look back at my last relationship, and
That's
she's
not.
not
That's
a
not
bad
that, though.
person.
That's not that.
But I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, I cannot believe I spent 5 months of my life with this.
Yo, 5 months. Okay, so
With this.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm saying with the situation.
I know.
No, I
hope
would
we
never
don't get
say that.
canceled. I really hope we don't get canceled.
No. I didn't mean it like that.
See, this is the fellas episode. You get vulnerable,
tell.
and then your homie shoot, and it's like, all right, now hold on.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Nah, but me and Caprice was we talked about it after the last pod, I think, because what was the nature of the conversation? We were talking about the last episode was called "But You Have Fun" though. So we were basically talking about if you're in a relationship,
Saw it.
and yeah, shout out, thank you. If you're in a relationship and the situation goes left,
So you
is it possible to look back at the relationship and say, "But I had fun though"?
Hopefully,
I gotta
that's
tell
almost
you,
that's best case scenario.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
best case
I had like a
scenario.
couple weeks. I had a couple weeks.
Relax.
Because everything's going to be a learning experience.
Absolutely.
You're either a lesson or a blessing, regardless.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely a learning experience, at least for me.
Take notes on that one.
I mean, so you know I'm in a relationship, and
You did.
You know it's not really a new thing at all. But there's
Right.
a lot of people who think that it's new because I feel like I successfully went the low key route.
Yeah,
for
which
me,
is
Stay low
which
and
was-
build.
Best way to
And
be.
like you said the more that you the longer you wait, the more you feel like you can the more you mutually can bring to the table, the more y'all can enjoy y'all's table.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's I don't know
Every
can
time
It
my
sounds like common sense now, doesn't it?
not for real.
every time my family asks me if I have a girlfriend, I always tell them the same thing. I'm graduating college in December, and after that, maybe, probably. But while I'm in school,
you said that Sunday.
while I'm in school, I don't. And they're always like, yeah, that's an excuse. You're just afraid of love. And I'm like, you know what? First of all, mind your business.
Don't tell me about my triggers.
Second
Don't
of
tell me
all-
about my fears.
Second of all, even if that was the case, I still wouldn't have time for a relationship. 5 classes, a job, the paper.
How about I just don't want to?
Yeah, that's never good enough for people. though.
Like,
And
That's
there's
never
times
good
when
enough.
you
oh
know
no. That's where you make the mistake. I don't care about what's good enough.
Oh
for you.
no,
I'm
absolutely.
giving you the answer that I'm giving
Absolutely.
you.
I'm just saying for them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, you will shut the fuck up after I
When
tell
you
you
know,
what I tell you.
yeah, when you know that I'm not in the dating mood right now for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, until something changes my mind. When you know that, that's a great time to be with yourself. Like that's a
Well,
great.
I mean, if you're happy with yourself, you don't
Yeah.
mind being single.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love myself.
That's it.
I got
Like,
some really
period.
good advice after my last breakup. So I was like, yeah, I'm not dating again until I feel like I've made large growth in myself, because it's like, all right, well, this girl said that oh, that's time for you. That's more time for you to date yourself.
Seriously.
Work on yourself. Then until you can be enough for somebody else, I'm sure there's something that you can improve on.
Terrell.
Everybody has to.
Terrell. So I started working for the paper or writing for the paper October 2018, I believe.
You did.
It was 2 weeks after I got in my relationship. That's why I applied, because I was depressed to getting out of the relationship, and I was like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to start writing.
Post breakup depression.
Yeah. So that's actually when I first got
It happens.
when I
Shout
first
out.
got to the newsroom, dude, I was so unbelievably depressed. But then I would write, and just even if it was sports or whatever, I'd get everything out, and it was nice. It was a nice little refuge.
You got to have some sort of release. Like, you have to
Yeah.
have some sort of release in some sort of healthy way. So that's why I feel like you don't know what your go-to release is. You don't know all these different things unless you spend time by yourself. And like both of you guys have said it a couple of times, me personally, I'm not that guy. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not the type of person to say never. I'm not the type of person to rush
yeah.
at all. I'm not the type of person to just do certain things like that. So because of that, I get a little bit, I shouldn't say scared away, but I get a little bit like my ears kind of perk up when I hear people say that they're going to be single for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, because my idea is if it's a year, by month 9 and 10, if you don't find somebody by your liking, do you feel like you got to rush in those last 2 months? How does that work? So what I always say is depending on what stage of life I'm in, whether I'm single, whether I'm looking, whatever the case may be, I'm doing that for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
Which means that shit can change tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I wake up tomorrow and I feel like I got enough shit in order where I feel like I can entertain a girl, okay, let's do that.
No,
But
there's been a lot of girls.
If it's
I've
not
seen-
until after graduation or something, then that's when it happens. But I'm not that person that's finna sit here and put a time limit on it and be like, oh, in 6 months, I got to make this happen.
Yeah.
That's how you make a fucked up decision. A relationship like a car accident is ridiculous, bro. Like
it's true.
That's terrible.
It's true.
I was gonna say maybe like a rookie contract, because before you get
You ever
before
outplay
you
a
get
rookie
big bank.
contract?
But you know what though? I don't regret that relationship because if I didn't get out of it, I never would have applied to the paper. And
That's a fact. You gotta. That's my
stressing,
point.
Stressing. What was it? Stressing.
The hurt, yeah, no. Park said, the hurt's good for you sometimes. Like
No, seriously,
whatever
it
you
is.
pour yourself into, it's probably something productive taking place
That comes out of it.
in the interim.
I mean, everything that you got to take some. That's why I said in every relationship, if you're in it long enough, you were in it for a reason. And that was the point that I don't know if the ladies understood on the last pod. I was basically saying like, and I forgot who was saying it, but I was telling them even if it's sex, to a certain degree, that's what you stayed for. So regardless of what you're saying, if you're in a relationship, you can't have me thinking, regardless of the way it ended, you walked away like I wasted all that time. Because my point is, why did you stay then?
Yeah, I'll bring up another point of view. Yeah, because I think girls are sometimes. I didn't know that there was a thought process or like of I'm gonna make this work because I'm not increasing my body count or like I'm not doing this like or
Can you speak to this?
instead
Do
of
you know?
instead of
You're the only
messing with
woman here,
somebody
so you gotta
new,
answer
I'm
for y'all.
gonna talk to the same dude or like continue this because I'm not bringing in new bodies.
This is what I will say. Relationship wise, I don't know about because I mean, you're just asking about
I
women.
wasn't hip to that.
Yeah, I was about to say. Now I've heard it, but this is one of the
I
only
respect
ways that I've heard it. When you're single, going back and fucking with somebody that you used to fuck with to
Versus-
not increase your body count. I've heard of that, and that I'm not against. I'm not opposed to that. But Caprice, I guess what he's saying is staying in a relationship, trying to make it work, so that way you don't. You know what I mean? You know that if you're not in that relationship, you're gonna eventually be in another one, and maybe another one, whatever the case may be. So to prevent that, are women out here staying in relationships to not increase their body count?
Yeah, sometimes that's the case,
Oh, sure.
and I think that's not. I mean, that's really unhealthy because I feel like a lot of just people in this generation don't understand the concept of you can date as many people as you want and you don't have to have sex with them. So if you're not happy in a relationship
Word.
and you feel like, well, I mean, I don't want to add another one to my body count. Okay, we don't have to yet. You can go date a bunch of different guys, and if half those guys
Y'all don't have to be having sex.
want to have sex with you, well, there you go. You just knocked out a bunch of red flags. They don't even want to talk to you at dinner. They don't even want to do that. So,
Yeah.
yes, girls are doing that. But yeah, it's not healthy. But like I was telling you too, a lot of people stay in toxic relationships for like financial stability. Like if they live together.
Living arrangements for
A lot of people are in
Agree.
denial, or they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they met the other person, they're both not good enough, so they might as well stay together. It's a lot of reasons. Some people, like you said, can you look back and say, but you had fun though? Sometimes it's not really you had fun. It could have been one aspect of that relationship that was fun, two aspects, but was the whole relationship fun? No. It, like you said, you see a movie.
Hey, don't play yourself.
Two scenes were
Not
good.
for real.
The movie was bad. Two scenes were good, but was the movie good? No, the movie wasn't good. Some parts were good, but the movie was bad.
In Miami, there's been some relationships that have been over for years, but they still live together because the rent is crazy.
Yeah, that's California.
No, that's dead ass.
every
California.
every place on the coast,
Yeah.
California, New York, Miami,
New York is insane.
What part of South Florida you from, bro?
Hollywood, Florida, and North Miami.
Are the
Around
Floridians
there.
really crazy? Because every time I see an article about
Answer for Antonio Brown right now.
I love Antonio
Back
Brown.
to her question.
No more white women.
I'm not talking about him either.
But you know, I
told the Floridian to talk about him.
Florida.
like I'm not.
I lived there all my life up until 2.5 years ago, so I never had anything to compare it to. And maybe it's where I live here in Vegas, but I still
Florida
see a
messed
bunch
up
of-
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that I haven't watched the doc yet, but that
And
I
rest
know
in
it's
peace.
about-
Rest in peace to Odin Lloyd and those two dudes
Certainly.
of course.
Certainly.
from Virgin Islands.
So I said
Certainly.
you don't know their names, but
Dudes from
rest
the
in
Virgin
peace to
Islands.
all and to
Can we? Well,
And whoever else. he
let's put a
killed.
pin in that, kid. But I want to talk about that though. I do, low key.
into the and
And about the doc.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what I can contribute to it. I know rest in peace to all lives lost in that situation. I know about the Aaron Hernandez situation. I remember watching that kind of unfold, so I remember the stuff as it came out. It's interesting for me to see how many people are being introduced to new information throughout this doc. Like,
I left it alone for the most part. I followed along with it, but you
Oh.
never can tell what's being truthfully like disseminated and what's unless you're watching trial, really keeping up to date. I kind of just loosely did because it was looking bad for bro, and it was what it was.
There's a great article on that was written on Sports Illustrated a few years ago. It was DJ, his brother.
Yeah.
They interviewed his brother. It was amazing article. It went really in depth, even more in depth than the little docu-series.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, I stayed out of it. I'm on my business a lot, so I was like, sucks to suck, you know what I mean?
If I had money, the first thing I would do, I would try to get a genie, and I would wish to be a fly on the wall listening to Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez conversations.
Did you? Wait, did somebody? No, did somebody tagged me in this? And
You
this
see
is
that
not
Wes
something I
Walker
wanna
story
do.
with Hernandez? It was Hernandez's rookie year, and Hernandez was doing something. Walker's like, "You better get in the film room, rookie," like real aggressive. And Hernandez was like, "Shut up, bitch."
The thing that I got tagged in said we need a 30 for 30 on the 2008 Florida Gators football team. They had Aaron Hernandez, Cam Newton,
Percy.
Tim Tebow, Riley Cooper, Janoris Jenkins,
Oh my-
Percy Harvin,
Both
and the
Pouncies.
Pouncey twins on one team. These dudes won the title while selling bricks and killing people, and on the side
Yo.
being led by a pastor.
Yo, and Urban Meyer's the nicest dude.
That's
Yo.
comedy, man. That's
They were
in
nuts,
all
that
seriousness,
team.
in all seriousness, that meme is outrageous. I think somebody tagged me in it and was like, "What are your thoughts on this?" I was like, "None that I'm gonna share here. Are you fucking crazy?"
And by the way, at that time, it was also Joakim Noah over at Florida.
Yeah, their
like,
basketball team was solid
Corey
too.
Brewer,
Yeah,
Al Horford.
Al Horford.
Florida sports, like, or at least UF, so much fun back then. I was never even a Gator fan. Obviously, I'm not from Gainesville, but
Right.
dude, it was so much fun. Like, I still got all the games on TV and shit. Oh my god.
That's something different, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, that was. I truthfully want you to answer for Antonio Brown. Like, I know we got on the air.
Florida?
But I really want you to answer to that.
You know what?
What's going
one
on
of the
in the water?
reasons, One of the reasons I do like, especially where I live in Vegas, and while I'll never live in Henderson, even if I do get money, seeing crazy people reminds me of home.
There's a certain level of humbleness with it.
I like seeing people, like, that's why I like Lead Library. Because over
Or
at the
parody in
Education
life.
Library, you get, like, all the sane, like, college students and, like, teachers
All the same college students. Who say we're saying?
compared to the, like, for example, in Lead Library, there's a guy on the second and third floor every Sunday night. He stands, he has no Bluetooth headphone on. He acts like he does. He just talks, and then he'll recite the Bible, and then he'll just talk about, like, tinfoil hats and stuff. And I see him, and I'm like, I'm with my people right now.
Oh,
Okay. Lights out.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Florida, if it's all you ever know, then you
Probably
don't.
needs movement.
You know.
yeah, I know. Usually, like, surprised
Okay.
they didn't already pick up.
I'm beyond worried about why I didn't pick up. Like, all right, so we're back. Don't know what the hell happened to the lights, but more than likely, you guys are either looking at the OD flyer right now, or you guys are looking at a picture that we took at the end of this pod. But
Or you might be driving, listening to the audio.
or you could be driving, listening to the audio on Spotify or
Apple Podcast.
Music, or Apple Podcasts. So
Oh,
you
we're
know,
on Apple. Okay, beautiful.
so shout out to us. You know, shout out to us. Shout out to the OD Pod. Shout out to ODP. Go ahead and go back to answering about Florida.
Yeah, man.
Yes, shout out to Anchor. So go ahead and talk about Florida, man. Go ahead and answer for the shit.
Literally, Florida, man.
Seriously.
When it's all you know, like, you don't
Oh, we
realize.
got the video.
Oh, we're just watching it.
Watching Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone.
McGregor's a different animal.
At 170, he looks like he's throwing some bombs.
I'm surprised he was able to get to 170 so quickly.
So it wasn't a knockout. I was kind of expecting more of a flash knockout
yeah,
from
they
the
finished
notification. Oh, it did say TKO though.
So he finished him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Connor.
When it's all you know, you don't really notice it. And then when you go other places, you're like, oh, okay, I get why people say that.
So, my only question is what's in the water down there?
Something good, man. I do miss some of the crazy people down there.
Something good, man.
Tati said there's nuts out there.
She's from Florida?
She's from West Palm Beach.
Yo, what is
Nice.
going on?
Every time I see a story, man,
If she was in here, she
Broward
probably
County.
would be flipping shit by now.
I don't need no disrespect to people from Palm Beach, but like for me, anything north of that, I'll put Pompano in there too. That's where
Thank you.
Major city in Florida besides. Throw that song on.
Violation.
I would say violations. I thought.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. It was just because he got arrested. What he got
He got
arrested
caught with
for
something.
was weapons. Getting a firearm under a fake alias when he was supposed to be like his probation like explicitly said like you can't have a gun, and he just got caught with guns again. But it's like, yeah, no. And he got sentenced based off of his track record.
That's what I was just about to say. That's of course that's what they're gonna go for. But I just think it's necessary that anytime we're on this pod, I mean, I backtracked a little bit of what I said about Jussie Smollett simply because at the end of the day I had to realize like you're advocating for putting a black man behind bars, so you got to be careful with that because regardless of what he did, there's things that's going on in there that doesn't get talked about, that can't get talked about. So that's when I had to kind of walk that statement back. So regardless of how you feel about Kodak, this is the time that I would normally be getting up to go to work. It's just sick.
Yeah, that is sick.
It's fucking sick.
You gotta feed the dogs.
Yeah, on the low. Shout out to Spade. Shout out.
Is that your dog's name?
Yes.
Okay.
Ace and Spade, my badass kids.
Prison is supposed to be for rehabilitation, but it's not.
It's clearly not at this point.
We probably all know people in our family who were never the same after going to jail.
For sure. For sure.
People that they're like my brother. Every time he goes, he comes out. It's like, people do crimes or they do bad, and then you send them there, and then when they leave, they do the same thing because they didn't get anything out of it. Like it's the only thing you kind of get out of it is you never want to go back. But even some people still can't give up that street life or doing.
Some people
Not
who
only
don't-
that, and if you get a felony, I mean, it's so hard to do.
Disenfranchisement is nuts.
Yeah, that. And
The concept of that.
If you get a felony, it's so hard to get a job or just get housing. Like a lot
For
of
sure.
you know.
But I mean, to the point that Caprice was trying to make, or to the point that Caprice made, about rehabilitation, I think that's kind of, how can I put it? I want to choose my words wisely, but when you mentioned rehabilitation, it's not. I'm gonna wait before I even say that point because I want to make sure that I choose my words wisely, especially when talking about something this severe. But I feel like at the end of the day, there are some people that I will say, I know people who told me that they didn't mind going back and they preferred going back simply because that they knew that they would have 3 meals a day.
That weird stability of
Gym
some sort.
time.
It's it's
somewhat
a
of holding
weird sort of
somebody's hand.
structure.
Gym time, you know.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of structure. So you get told when you have to go to bed. You get told when you get to shower. You get 3 meals a day. Things of
Kind
that
of getting your
nature.
hand,
So,
you're getting your hand held a bit.
yeah, so especially depending on how early a person gets wrapped up in it, it may become it's institutionalized, but it may become so second nature. Like I said, we talked about it before with Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates did an interview where the dude, for some reason, and I've interviewed a lot of people, and very seldom do you ever have to come in contact with the person that you're talking to. And the dude, and it's so funny because shout out to my granny, shout out to Nana. But Nana knows for a fact, I tell her this all the time. Whenever Nana's talking to me, she has this, and I'm sure grannies have it in general. She has this habit of like poking out at me, and she pokes me, and it's like I hear you, like you don't have to keep poking me. And the dude kept asking Gates every time he got ready to ask Gates a question. He was like, "Let me ask you this."
Mm-hmm.
And by like the second or third time, Gates was like,
It was like,
"Don't touch me no more." Like, and he said it in a respectful way, and everybody thought he was an asshole for it. And I was like, Gates has been to prison before. I'm really proud of the way Gates handled himself, actually. Can I tell people all the time, have you been around anybody who has been to prison?
mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, I approach that person differently when they're eating. I approach that person differently when I'm waking them up.
And you gotta,
I don't touch
and you
that
gotta
person
afford them a
unnecessarily.
certain bit of
Space.
to beat them. And like, yeah, man.
It's just period. Like, my uncle was out for 10 plus years, and I'm a kid. And when he eating, he got this fucking habit, or I don't know if he still has it now, but he had this fucking habit of whenever he ate, and I bullshit you not, the couch was against the wall. He got this habit where every time he eat, he has this thing where he looks over his shoulders.
Yeah, and niggas don't like, yeah.
Unc, you been out. Like,
No, that
relax.
Shit, that shit changes a lot of men, man.
So,
We might got the same uncle.
no, on the low, like, and the sad part is, we probably don't. That's the fucked up part. And they act the same.
Yeah.
That's the more disturbing part.
Solitary can change a man. I know that. Solitary can destroy your mind.
Oh yeah, let's not even go there. Yeah, and they just be sticking people up.
22, 23 hours a day,
That can absolutely just destroy your brain.
anything.
Without a finite knowledge of how long you like.
You get a mat and you get your
You
clothes.
don't know, like you don't have a concept of time anymore. Like to be in a dark room, silent. I couldn't even do that for an hour. Like to be for 24 hours straight.
I mean,
No, it's torture.
that's dead ass torture.
Yeah, it's interesting that they. Well, I guess not interesting, but I'm not surprised. But people like they go to prison. You know, a lot of people have mental issues. You know, different mental disabilities, different disorders.
Right.
And it's like with police. It's not a protocol, or there's a quote unquote protocol, but it doesn't get used. Like they don't need to be getting beat up on. Like obviously, I have family members. I know people who have disorders, mental disorders, that can make them violent, which is why they go away to certain places. You're not somebody on the street. You're not supposed to beat somebody, like beat up the schizophrenic who kind of came at you. You're supposed to be trained on how to do that.
De-escalate the situation.
They just beat these poor people up, and I understand like people do crimes and you gotta.
This is the jungle, bro.
But not everybody in jail is like a monster, evil human being that doesn't deserve.
99% aren't.
I was just about to say, if they need rehabilitation, what is treating them like
And
their
see,
worst fear gonna do?
And see, the media, especially, I don't want to sound tinfoil hat, but it's true. The media, which is a lot of times will get money from private prison corporations,
Oh yeah, these
they'll push the stories where like, oh, 45-year-old man rapes three 3-year-olds, you know, like, and that does happen. Don't get me wrong, but like, they're putting like that's the entire prison population,
Oh, right, for
not
sure.
some guy that violated his parole for smoking weed
exactly.
or insurance fraud. You know what I mean?
any of those smaller, I shouldn't say smaller, but any of those
still in prison.
Yeah.
for things that are legal now. So I mean, it's not new. It's not something that we don't know about already. It's a little, not even a little. It's disheartening as hell. That's it, man. We got to come up with our what's our outstanding. We need one. Let's figure it out right now. We got to figure out an outstanding.
To flip it.
We need to figure out whenever they get sad on the Joe Budden podcast, they play outstanding. So in a second, if nobody answers my question, I promise you, this is gonna fuck around and be ours. I'm very close. I'm very close.
About 350,000.
That's all. That's it.
Only 700.
You heard him jingle it to him. It's like he looking at it like, well, I mean, that's it. That's all I got. This is a good time. Yeah, shout out to Future. This is probably a good time to bring up the Ghana Welcome Home Act. We seen Ludacris go over Christmas, I believe it was. If not, it was over New Year's. But a lot of people are taking
Like a pilgrimage?
Well, Ghana is doing
They're supposed to relocate.
I don't know if they're relocating per se, but Ghana is offering free citizenship. Free citizenship. Here you go. I don't think they're handing out houses, but
Stimulus package. Yeah, if you come right now, you'll get a 2-bedroom, a dog, and
yeah, just to have a whole block. Just no, Caprice. Hell no. But I just want to kind of just shine some light on that. I wonder how many people would actually like you said, let's say everybody goes, let's say a healthy handful. Let me never say handful. Let's say half of the black population goes over there to get citizenship. What difference does it make if we bring it back over here?
what's the point? What's the point of this? Is this for people to leave so they can not be tied up
I think
with
it's
America's war?
I think it's to bridge the gap. You know what I mean? How a lot of people say they don't know anything about Africa. You have no
Those
excuse
African
now.
Americans that are just placed here.
Yeah. So their whole thing is you have no
truest
excuse
Americans
now.
of all. Like,
Wait, so is this supposed to be dual citizenship or like?
I believe it's dual citizenship. So I would assume that they're
earn
treating
their
it as an
citizenship as
opportunity
well.
to you can no longer say that you know nothing about Africa. We've given you guys an opportunity to come gain free citizenship. So that's the way I took it. But my only question is, after you go and learn, do you just go
all right,
back to
y'all.
the US? Yeah, like do you just bounce
What does it
and
do?
then like
Yeah.
not visit? Do you come back every year? Like, is there? How does this? What is it?
Citizens are probably gonna live there.
No, says who?
It's because you got it's a brand new life.
You got to not live there to just say that they
That's my point. So my point is, what
Sure,
happens
plenty
next?
are.
Like outside of Akon, who's actually staying in Lil Jon? Lil Jon opened up his second school, I believe, in Ghana. Outside of that, it's like you don't hear about a lot of the stuff that's going on. I know Ludacris is doing work down there, but it's like
I
Yeah.
think Akon's building something in Senegal, like a
he has his own city.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I'm trying to
he's
go.
working on his
It's
own
called
city. Yeah,
Akon City?
seriously,
All right.
I'm about to go support him.
Sounds good.
About to go support him.
I mean, that's a
Um,
dope opportunity. I
Oh,
don't
it's a
know.
crazy
You still got to
opportunity.
get yourself over there. But
Yes. You still gotta more than just getting yourself over there. Get a plan before you go over there.
yeah.
Figure out what you're gonna do with it, as opposed to just doing it for the hot moment.
I mean, yeah, I'm
And not maximizing your trip.
If I'm gonna have citizenship, a place to stay, like real.
Random is all hell. Remind me to tell you about the graduation trip.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. Super random, but
I mean, but it could be a dope move for some people. Say somebody's over here is like mad qualified, degrees, master's degrees, education degrees, develop talents, traits, managerial skills. If you go out there just like, oh yeah, I come out here and I come from experience from, this company, blah, 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 it could be a wonderful relocation and now you're set up to really see some like growth. And you never know.
yeah. I mean, my only question, like I keep saying, was just what's next. Well, I don't want to hear about it one time and then be like,
Remember when niggas was going to Ghana? Like, nah, I don't want it to be that.
yeah, that's the last thing I need. Is like, remember when everybody rushed to Ghana to get citizenship? What did y'all do with it?
When does this offer end?
That's another question I would like to know. Was it only until 2020? Like, I don't know. I have plenty of questions.
Citizenship, like, so are those like your people now? Are you gonna help? Are you gonna?
That's what I said. What's next?
With what's going on, like, are you just gonna scroll on Twitter like, oh yeah, I'm a citizen, but damn, that's fucked up. What's going on? Let's keep scrolling. Like,
Which a lot of people do. They do it here in America.
You gonna pay your taxes?
so
Like, yo.
I don't know if anybody's gonna do any of that. I do want to. I think the last thing I do want to touch on real quick. Celine brought it up. I think this was on Sunday. We truthfully need to address the difference between friends, associates, and acquaintances. There's so many people who don't know the difference.
Yeah.
So even though, Caprice, you may know the difference between a friend, an associate, and an acquaintance.
Most people, you're right, they actually don't, because people think they got like 20 friends. Like, you think you have 20 friends. That's
I wouldn't want 20 friends.
yeah.
That sounds exhausting.
It's
sounds
a lot of
absolutely
it's a lot of energies to entertain.
Yeah.
Number one,
And upkeep. Yeah.
and it's a lot of personalities to maneuver.
Of course. And I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but who can you really call at 3 o'clock in the morning? You can't call all 20 people. Like when you're really in a jam or when you're really in a
That's what really defines your friendship is if you know without a shadow of doubt this person feels the same way about you that you do about them. Like
this person will
That's
do
your
the same
boy.
thing that you would do for them. It's not just a one-sided, like, you know, you ever be that person to help out somebody and then, you know, the time comes around for you and obviously you don't expect it, but you're just like, oh, well, hey, you kind of think, well, you know, okay, maybe they can help me out. You know, they know what it's like. I helped them out last time. And then you don't hear from them or they don't, you know, do it. You got to realize when something is like one-sided and not both ways. And it seems like a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people complain about how they're too nice and people step over them. Then stop.
Yeah.
Once you notice, stop. Don't keep saying, oh, well, this keeps happening and keeps happening. So stop. Whoever
Fool me one time, shame. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I think in Vegas, I probably have about like 3 just very close friends. And like, I have a lot of, not a lot, but like I have a good amount of close friends in Florida. And we FaceTime all the time. We have Instagram, but, you know, it's very, I see certain people and I see like all these people around them. I'm like, how are you not drained? Like,
I mean, see, this is what's a little different too, because with me, I feel like people see the radio show or the podcast or me covering certain things, and I tell people all the time, yes, there are a lot of moving pieces around me and moving parts around me. Everybody doesn't get the same me. And I think people need to understand that. Like, just because I'm around somebody that you see on campus, that may be cool, but the conversation is much different from when me, Daryl, and Duna are sitting in the room. It's much different from if I'm hanging out with X, Y, and Z and you guys see us in the student union. So I think that's why people need to understand, just because you see somebody with, and I think that goes back to what Capri said about relationships. With the dating situation, like people feel like if you're dating or if you're standing next to somebody, you have to be fucking. Why?
Yeah.
Like, says who? Who said that had to be like the parameters on the situation? And that's kind of the way I feel about. That's kind of the way I feel about the situation. I don't really see why there has to be a spoken label on it. Like, because I say all the time, what's understood doesn't need to be explained.
Yeah.
So I feel like the people who are acquaintances and are associates, like for instance, I feel like if a person is asking, well, am I, like if they hear this conversation and they start having a conversation with their friends, well, I wonder if I'm an associate, a friend, an acquaintance, whatever the case may be. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. So trust me, if you hear this and you're asking me, I wonder if we're an associate or an acquaintance,
Yeah.
you might be an acquaintance or you might be nothing.
Like, yeah, it was a couple where I was like, man, I thought it was tighter than that, but guess not.
Guess not. So what's understood doesn't need to be explained. An associate means that it's somebody who we know. We may interact on social a decent amount of times. We may see each other. It's all love, no beef, da-da-da-da. An acquaintance means that it's somebody that more than likely Daryl knows. I don't know you. I know that if I invite Daryl,
Or for no
you're
length
a
of time.
package.
Yeah, or for, yeah.
I may know that, so that means it's by situation. It's a case by case basis,
and it morphs, you know.
and it moves. It's such a
Yeah.
fluid situation.
No, that's what I definitely realized is that, man, so many of it's tough because we're in the college stage, and for not everybody that's not their final destination, but there's so many relationships in like this period. Once you leave high school, you realize how temporary a lot of relationships are, just because of
Sure.
once I'm not in proximity to this person, do we have any business together still? Like,
Yeah.
nah. As soon as I was like, oh, as a does, like, no, everybody ain't your friend. Like,
T Grizzly said it at some point. Like, if we grew up together, that's great. And then I go my way. Not necessarily I go my way, but I get whatever I get. You get whatever you get. How are you looking at me like, oh, well, what do I do next?
yeah.
My nigga, I don't know. What do you do next? Like, I'm not finna just hand you something. We can go figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
But how do you hold people though? Like,
What you mean?
because like, I don't know. Like, there's people who are like, if I see somebody I know
Mm-hmm.
in the mall, I'm gonna say, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that I know that I, that I
I'm like,
talked
huh?
to already. If I was like, oh, that's food from my class that I don't speak to, we're not gonna speak because
Yeah.
I
Oh
see
yeah,
you in
'cause you don't
public.
speak anyway.
But
Yeah.
if it's somebody like you knew, somebody you have a history with, like, I don't avoid people like that if I see you. Like,
No, I mean, you see, this is where I go back to my situation about the friends, associates, acquaintances. If I see an acquaintance, if I see you in the mall, we may walk by each other, and you may get a solid head nod. That's about as far as I'm going. It's no disrespect,
no,
Right.
facts,
but
no,
it's
facts,
just
facts,
if,
facts.
like I
That's
said,
facts.
like I said, with the comparison that I just gave was if it's a Daryl situation. If I invite Daryl somewhere and I know that you're Daryl's friend, you become an acquaintance. You become somebody that I only talk to when Daryl's around. That I only talk to because Daryl brought you around. So that means if I see you in the mall and Daryl's not there, yo, you get one of these. And I'm going to keep it pushing. I don't know you. You don't know me. What we got to talk about? So if it's an associate, this is where I'm a little more leaning your way. I'm not going out of my way to speak to you.
yeah,
If I see you and we're in close proximity, what's the deal? What you in here for? Let's go catch up. Da-da-da-da. If we got time. If you're a friend,
yeah.
nigga, don't let me see that you posted that you're at the Fox Hills Mall and I'm walking in the Fox. Where
Shout
you
out to the
at?
Fox Hills Mall.
Where you at? You at Target? Bet I'm at Liz. I'm about to come over there. That's the That's literally the three rankings. I'm either not speaking to you or I'm on your line immediately like, yo, where are you? Send a pin. So I think that's the classification that people don't know and what needs to be stated. But fuck do I know?
I love everybody, man.
At this point, right?
I do too, man. But I'm
Even
very.
if I hate you, I love you.
I know when I'm
I
antisocial
got the
too,
strongest
though.
type of love for you in that sense. You said it recently where you was like, my social battery is tapped. Like, I just give me a couple days.
Like, I might love you so much that I think the best thing for you is to not be on this earth anymore.
I won't go that far. That's Salim. Salim said that. Make sure y'all know that. If this video not working, make sure y'all know that. What I will say is the thing that I always tell people is if you and me were cool and we fell out, unless it's some shit to where I've told you, like it's some real life, like we can't cross paths. It's not that I don't want you to eat. You just can't sit at my table. And I've said that plenty of times, and that's the motto that I live by. I ain't gotta hate you. I ain't gotta throw no ill will your way. And especially as a person who I feel like energy gets said so fucking much. But
I'm gonna eat at my own table.
yeah, seriously, at this point, like as a person who feels like you gotta be careful with the energy you emit, like even with the things I think. Like I think certain things a certain way, and I'll be like, nah, let me try to fix that now, because if it was to happen and I realize it came from a mere thought, what could a person do to my life from a mere thought? So that's why I'm like, let me be real. And we talked about this before. That's what I credit Charlamagne for. Bless. He always talks about your thoughts become things. And he always talks about being a creative and being an artist, because a lot of the shit that we talk about and being a writer,
Manifest
a lot of the things that we want, we manifest it. And we talk about the thing. We talked about a pod for the longest. We're doing it now. We talked about things we wanted to see with the radio show. We've seen it. We talked about wanting to do a show at the Westgate. I've done it twice. We wanted to do a show at the Golden Nugget. I've done that before. We wanted to do a March Madness show. I've done that. So
When you
we
want
manifest these different things. So that's why I try to be careful with the energy I put out, because I truthfully feel like when I speak, shit moves, and I feel like everybody should feel that way.
when you want something, it's said like that the entire universe secretly conspires for you to get it if you want something bad enough.
I hate to say it. I feel like when you speak things out into the world, I feel like it's a half and half. I feel like you
Yeah.
have
There's a
gotta-
bit
tons
waiting
of
to see,
negative
not
energy who's
Right,
trying to
right.
keep you from it, and you got tons of positive energy that's trying to keep you towards it, push you towards it.
Yeah, I would never put it on like social media, but like, you know, when you want something, even if it's just in your head and you keep striving for that, you don't even tell anybody. I feel like, because I read that in The Alchemist. That's not for me. I wish it was for me, but but it's true. Like sometimes I feel that way.
Speaking of that, I got into a book over the break.
What you getting to?
I got a Stuart Scott's Every Day I Fight. My dad got it for me a couple Christmases ago, and I didn't finish it
Shout
when I
out.
was
Rest in
into it.
peace, Stuart Scott.
And then I
Long
was
live.
like, this year I need to read more. But man, I've been on a very self motivational wave. Differently though. Y'all, you already know for sure. Y'all probably might not know my grandmother just passed.
Oh, rest in
I didn't know
peace,
if you
man.
wanted to talk about it on air, but
Rest
Yeah,
in peace.
but it's that's real life. You can't avoid a lot of things in real life. And if anything, I was telling my cousin, it's like I felt like her leaving like the physical realm is like a different. It's somewhat freeing because now like you instead of knowing where she's at physically and you're in different spots, it's like now that she's like a spirit and like a guiding, just a different entity. It's kind of like you can feel like you have that
They're with you.
motivation now within, like you have a different like sense of you have a different drive, like it's a different
it's a
coming
different
from it's coming
aura.
from a different place. It's coming from a different place
For sure.
and it's like you feel like you have the support right there with you because it's like I don't know, it's a bit different, but I'm excited. I'm excited to dive into some things that I really want to. And
If you're looking for good books, man, I read a shit ton. Like I just read one book. It's amazing. It's called Desert Encounter.
Mhm.
It was this Danish dude. This is like in the 1930s. He traveled to Morocco and like traveled the entire Sahara Desert around like this Ford. I don't know what it was. Some car like that, and it was just an incredible book.
feel it.
It was a true story. Like he's a travel writer, and it's called Desert Encounter.
I feel like I'm gonna be a really, really trash person right now, but
Mm.
this winter break I did absolutely fucking nothing.
Well, that's good. You know,
Well, I shouldn't say nothing.
need to
but
decompress.
I didn't get to do it over summer, so
Not for real, no.
But you were working over
Yeah,
winter break, so
word,
it's like,
word.
So this
It
winter
was a
break, I just
long.
didn't
It was a
do
long ass break.
it was, and I felt bad because like
It was
my
almost
first
2
2
parts.
weeks I
It was
just
like the
didn't do
2019 break and the 2020 break.
And this 2020 break, I feel like I've been working, so I feel a little better about my life. But the end of December, bro, I was like,
I've been enjoying it so much, man. Like,
I'm mad it's over with a little bit.
I'm not looking forward
Not
to
over
Tuesday
yet.
at all.
It's not.
Like
not
I've been
over yet.
Like I've been enjoying reading, just like watching TV, like going to work at the light. Like I've been so enjoying that. Now I got to go back to fucking 5 classes.
Go back to life.
Oh man.
Gotta go back to life. Shit.
Dealing with professors and fucking assholes on their scooters on campus. That's the least of my
Yo,
concerns.
we gotta get scooters.
Nah, that's why I got the skateboard. I said I'm too.
I'm not
I said I
getting on a
can't.
skateboard,
Well, yeah, I didn't even know how to ride all the way. Like I used to with my cousin,
bro.
but I was like, I can't be this big on a scooter. And then there's people bigger than me out
This
here.
nigga's talking about this big
on the
a
scooter. I felt insecure.
Bro.
I was like, I can't do it.
Bro.
I can't do it.
Dude, like you get out of class.
If you felt insecure on a scooter or on a skateboard, these are the reasons why I need a scooter. That's my whole point. Because, bro, I'm telling you right
No,
now.
I felt like that
If
on the
I get on the
scooter.
skateboard,
No, I felt like that on the scooter.
On the
Because if I
scooter.
gotta bend down to hold the handlebars, why am I on it?
oh shit, that was my headphones. Oh man, I don't know. That's a good question.
just those people like
I'll be doing parkour on my damn skateboard. Like on my scooter. I would not go to class.
campus is flooded. Everybody just got out of class, and you're just like, oh my.
Rolling around on a scooter.
I've gotten bumped into a lot of times, and luckily I've never reacted.
What's worse, the scooter or the rolling backpack?
They're both two types of monsters.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The rolling backpack, when you're walking behind them, when they're walking into a door, and then like I don't know why, it's just like that split second where you forget that like it's not just the human body; they're carrying fucking luggage behind them, and it's like you're walking behind them, and it's an automatic door. Like, let's say it's a student union, and it's getting ready to close, and then like you realize you opening it, but then you're holding it for a fucking bag, and you're like,
You know, I gotta say something. If,
what's going on right now, bro?
like I said, I don't
Let
hate
me talk to
anybody.
you for a second.
I don't hate anybody, but like, if you have a rolling backpack,
There's a special place in hell for you.
I'm not saying you should be euthanized, but
Yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here. All right.
now I'm not saying that.
I'm not
But
doing it. I'm not doing it.
what I am saying is,
Euthanizing.
maybe you shouldn't be here.
That's like the fourth time that you didn't try to say that somebody doesn't belong to be here. But I'm gonna get the hell out of
It's
here.
been like that legit.
I'm
Look,
getting
if you
the hell
were,
out
if
of
you
here.
have a rolling backpack, you know what? It's 2020. Let me be positive.
Yes, all positive vibes. The rest of the
If I'm
rest of
ever
the
a
year.
dictator,
No,
they're going first.
hell no. We can't let you do that. I'm gonna try to see if we can get another pod going before school starts. But this is episode 16. You guys are listening to the OD podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I feel like it's been a relatively short pod compared to what we've done in the past. But I'm not gonna lie. I've gone through YouTube and looked at a couple pods. We've had some for 2 hours and 40 minutes, hour and 30 minutes.
I mean, yeah, no, I like the variety for sure because sometimes you gotta get in, get out.
It depends on the situation. All situational. But as
The
I said
venue,
before,
all of that.
oh yeah, because when we at the Westgate, I be trying to wait. I be trying to just sit and relax. Again, this is episode 16, the OD podcast. If you guys want to follow the pod on Twitter and on Instagram, it is at ODPcast. Once again, it is at ODPcast. On YouTube and on Facebook, it is the OD podcast. Once again, it is the OD podcast. Shout out to Hoop for being on the show again.
Sure.
Salim, thank you for stopping by. Caprice,
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
no worries. Caprice, as usual, thank you for holding down the camera. Conversation went everywhere today. Salim, stop trying to euthanize people.
I'm from Florida,
Not letting
man.
Nobody live.
I'm from Florida, man.
I
I
was
am a
about to
Florida
say.
man.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of Florida, I should have ended it with Kodak. That's what I should have did, huh?
You should end it with Florida.
Nah, I'm
boy.
good with that.
I was about to say
good with
you're a
that.
thug.
I'm
You're
good
a
with
thug
that.
head, so I'm sure you're perfectly fine with
You
this.
should end it with Florida, boy.
I was about to say I'm still gonna end it with
Whatever.
maybe I can start the next one with Florida. You said it's Florida boy? Should I?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can hurry up and go to it real quick.
Yeah, man, we'll be back sooner than you know.
Yeah, I mean, it took us long enough. I'm gonna go to testimony only because it's the first thing I see. Any closing remarks real quick before we get up out of here?
I was talking to Eddie, and I was telling him for Halloween I wanted to be a Florida man. He's like, bro, you already are a Florida man.
That is the scariest shit I've heard this entire pod. All right, you guys, take care.
Shout out to Eddie. He's a great photographer.
Yeah, shout out to
You're
Eddie. Grass season.
retweet.
They locked me in the box. I pray to God, this ain't my destiny. I don't train no lean, I'm sipping on